Welcome to UnScripted. Quick note before we begin. The cast and crew will accept zero responsibility or liability for any decisions that listeners make after listening to us, be that good or otherwise. Honestly, people, do not take life advice from us, as we are not experts in anything useful. We're simply here to share our opinions and hopefully provoke thought and not wrath. And of course, if we hurt your feelings, that will be addressed at some point in life. But hopefully today is not that day. So listen responsibly and enjoy. Welcome to yet another episode of UnScripted. This is episode 17. Episode 17.
Brother, oh, you managed to keep count. You're dyslexic, brother.
Do you remember what?
I can barely count past 12, but hey, this is small blessings. And today on Palm Sunday, we have to celebrate. Give thanks.
Yeah.
Across from me is the illustrious Rodney Campbell.
Hey, yo, yellow.
30 plus years in the media. Done it in fine style, with class, with elegance, with grace. Tomato soup.
What next?
I'll leave you alone.
Okay, good. That's all I got advertising paper.
And in the middle.
That's a sneeze, sorry.
Sitting between us is yet another media icon. We can't count the amount of years in media.
2 minutes.
Yeah, because I know it's more than 10,
20.
more than 20.
21.
More than 20.
21. Yeah, 21.
And before that, there's nobody who can pass through the University of West Indies and know this man. So all of the people at my age wouldn't know this man, thanks to SY20G, SY15G,
Yeah, your first one is right.
Yeah, enough of them lecture them in 16, but he's thinks of me. Yeah, that came guy you.
Yeah.
I was never a student there, that's funny.
He's a great advocate for the working class as well.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Before that, he was on a mission for the working class. I think he still is. But he's more so in the beside the scenes. I can't say behind the scenes, come on. I get So he's more so beside the scenes in recent years. So in front of the scenes.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Dr. Orville Taylor.
Knock it, because it's Palm Sunday.
Happy Easter to all the people about watching.
Right.
Fisticuffs.
There you go.
Fisticuffs you're calling.
Yes.
Yeah.
How the man them stay? How's the week? How's the week been for you?
Yeah, I make it
Anything interesting happen?
I work for 7 hard days and no understand why after 7 days a week. And that's why I my weekend. Yeah, really. Yeah. But that's
every week is interesting.
Yeah. What if I think going?
Yeah.
No, just
Nothing you want to share?
not really. Just interesting. I'm prepared for bond now. I used to.
We have an episode about that, you know?
Yeah.
We have a full-on bun episode. And we should have dropped it around this time of year.
No, it would have too
Easter
predictable,
time.
bro.
True.
Yeah, so you know.
True.
Yeah, man.
I had an interesting week. Sports day. For one of my god kids.
You ran at sports day?
No, sir. Thankfully, this child's father is in his life, so I didn't have to step in and be substitute around the race. I would have, though. And I relish those moments because normally I win. But I'm normally younger than most of the parents there anyway, so easy for me to outrun them.
Oh.
Having that conversation.
You're usually younger than most of the parents.
Because we're going parents race. Now that you ask me, which other race I could have run a sports day?
All right.
I don't know.
No?
Yeah.
Me can barely run the human race. Because I'm 98% chimpanzee, 99 last time I checked.
Chimpanzee.
We're actually 99 or 98% chimpanzee. In fact, human beings are closer to chimpanzees than chimpanzees are to gorilla. And in fact, humans and chimpanzees are closer genetically than donkeys and horses.
You see that? That's why Rodney looks up.
I don't
that
know.
explains
I'm
everything.
just saying,
That explains everything. But sir, when I get a bell for that?
No.
No? Jaja.
Yeah, that would make me a donkey gorilla.
Make you a gorilla.
You big up my artist Glorilla.
Alright.
She tough. With that said, we can go in and topic this week because we've been sidestepping the main point.
I must remember to tell our bank manager that.
Alright, I'm going to reach for a cup.
I'm 99% closer to Brock than I'm paid it. I'm paid alone. Yeah. All right, what's the topic? Champion.
The topic was family does not equal obligation. So because we're family, that doesn't mean we're obligated to love, respect, honor, speak to each other. So
what are you obligated to do with family? You
absolutely
just
nothing.
But you're not. So what are you obligated to?
Absolutely nothing in my eyes.
I've asked me a direct question.
So what we're going to discuss is the truth around setting boundaries with toxic family members.
Oh.
Because I mean, we're not going to just cut off all family unless you're the toxic family member.
So them only have toxic fear boundaries?
No, we are setting boundaries with them.
Okay. No.
Or we're setting boundaries in general.
In general, okay.
And you're actually starting us off in the right direction, because I think typically the people who don't want to observe or respect your boundaries are the toxic family members.
So, let me rewind all the way to the beginning. When we talk about family, you're talking about like relatives in Jamaican sense.
Yes.
Because when you're North American Western sense, you're talking about like people who live in your household. So you're not talking
relatives. You're talking about your cousin. Everybody have one cousin or one
your brother or your sister who don't live in the same house.
Yeah. What we not do?
Good. All right. So I get it now.
Sorry, whether them live with you or not. If them
them could have lived. You know, people live together and them not
family.
You know, family live in the house together and them not.
Yeah, but if you live in the same house, yes, still family.
Yeah.
Yeah, not just household. Yeah. But if you live outside of the house, yeah, relative.
Oh, relatively speaking.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And I'm using the sociological definition and the demographic definition.
No,
the census.
And the sociology past this, you know.
But word bigger than it.
Which is why it was important to have
which is
him
why
for
when you do the
this
census thing, so them judge it,
So
and more time them equate this thing with the household and family. So yeah.
Right, true. The household is the household, the family is the family. I mean,
yeah. Right, but
here is an interesting point. Difficult. I can't imagine living in the same house with somebody and not talking to them.
yeah, what's like a house small?
Yeah.
You can't just imagine a house small, because some of the houses where people live in, like the house that I was born in, was so small that I had to go outside to change my mind. It was so tiny. Right? I mean, I'd make jokes about it, how small it was, that we never had rats or roaches because
They never have no space.
Never no space, right? Right.
No fire couldn't come
grew up in
in.
a 2-bedroom house. And everybody inside there still is old, but people are thinking about it. 4 kids, parents, grandmother. And we have from time to time we'd have relatives come up and come stay. Yeah. But
So that's 7 people already in a 2-bedroom.
Yeah.
And you still have relatives that find a forward and add to the mix.
Yeah.
See.
Right. And so I mean, it's really difficult to imagine that you're living in a place. First of all, like one of them is a family member is like a bully or always eat out the food or something like that. And you know that you're going to complain to your mama or your father, they're going to beat you up or something like that, It's like you can't get away. Yeah, the place is too small, you can't get away. Now you can't go and lock yourself in a room.
No, there is no such thing.
Exactly. So it's a different kind of dynamic as opposed to when you live in a middle class family and you have your little space, you can lock in your room or whatever. I'm going to tell you something. I went to George's and I bet St. George's was quite a revelation because I was born in Waterhouse, living in Brook Valley. The first time I actually saw really white people was at George's, And then went to go check one of my brethren, So, yeah, man, I'm going to link him and I'm brethren him. Check the next one I'm brethren him, yeah. He said when we got the man yard. And by the time I walk from the gate, to reach also tired, right?
Yeah.
So the man said, all right, his room. I was like, yo, room?
What do you mean by?
Like his room, like your room, and the man's room bigger than our house. I said, yo, kid. A kid, the brother name, then the next brother. The real name was Kid, right? I said, kid, the man was biggie, man. That's your room. So why I better check it back because if he's ever going to get that last name room. That's the other thing. And so it's a different kind of dynamic for a middle class family, right? Because you have the space and you can space yourself socially and physically, right? But when it's a small family, a small household, no, the large family, a small household, a small place within which you live, you can't get separated from that. And sometimes some of those patterns which are established then, because you move because you kind of want a space.
Right.
So, you left for you go university and stuff. So, it's like when people talk about an increase in the female head in the household, for example, right? Everybody think that is because of worthless men. It's not really that. I mean, 7% of those female head households are just women living by themselves who leave university, etc. Decide them don't want them and live with them.
Them want them freedom.
And them have the biggest place. And about 21% of households is men living by themselves. Happy for them day.
Also, that also don't want to share.
Don't want the problem either.
Exactly. Right.
I know one
interpersonal communication and space.
I know one person for sure within our vicinity that is in that 21%.
All right.
I won't call any name, I won't point anything.
No, I understand
it. So all of a sudden now you're true hot ball.
You get it.
I know it's funny.
Okay.
You know what's funny? Somebody behind the camera was talking about this time.
I'm glad now that I hear that opportunity. You said nah, call him and what's up with you? I set him up now.
It's true. It's true. Behind the camera, which one are they?
Yeah, man. No worries.
You don't know.
Alright.
You don't know.
Yeah, but so the funny thing about it, Derek, is that so you'll have, like you move because you're almost having a post-traumatic stress disorder from having too much people because you have the sardine complex. I probably should invent something.
Sardine complex.
Right?
Are you living in a sardine?
Yeah, man. You're talking about, man. Listen, yeah, man. It's in which case, in which your brother and your papa are the same thing.
That's how it is.
Exactly, that one. See? Because you can't escape that smell. In a space. So you move now to get a little space while I try to recalibrate and say, all right, man, I'll try.
This is what me like when I'm alone.
Buy like a space. So they start, you buy like one table, like a one bed and all of that, whatever, and you like a small fridge and all of that. And then you're there, yard.
So,
and then somebody turn up.
What she
say,
need?
yo, why, no, I go to your sister, I go to your brother. I
stop by to check you.
He said, why not? Why don't come check up on a Sunday? I know. Some chicken back and rice and peas, my work. Why, that kind of thing. So it's like really, really intrusive. Right? So, boundaries are important.
Dynamic too.
Yeah, man, what?
That favorite family member, now that you've moved out of that phobia, and your favorite, like a sister, stop at your house and check you, but you realize that she have a little bag. And she just want to know if like how you on your own now, if she can just spend the weekend and you say, because remember you run left this, so you can't really tell her no. And I promise you say,
that weekend will turn into 2 weeks.
A while.
Into a month.
A while.
Into a few months.
A while. And you remember say she have 2 friends. So you go home and suddenly now, what you realize is that which you ran from, you have unwittingly recreated in another space.
So, but we veer off a little, and I guess that could drive a wedge between yourself and your sister.
It all depends too.
It's a personal communication.
It depends on what kind of sister they make. Because my 2 sisters, them are bench and bench. My sister, them live a foreign still. But the one who was closest to me, age-wise, she said, "Oh, me there, sir. Me Pegasus, come and get me." Yeah, she's coming, flying. Oh, may I stay 2 days? You stay in my yard, yeah. Okay, eat that. Okay, and she's free to. She can do that because the kind of relationship we have. She can do that.
No.
Yeah, no.
Well, I mean, but it's too.
But you gotta be able to do that. That's suspect.
Because what he's saying right now is.
Because we have a seamless relationship still that different.
Yeah, but you live in separate countries, and we're still talking about toxic family members. I mean, how we deal with them. So what you're talking about right now, you have a healthy relationship, There's still that level of separation, and you can still go and lock away after a few days.
Yep.
When somebody crash your space, like what you must say now, like where your sister would have crashed your space, uninvited. Granted, she might not have a better option, but still, you start notice little things. She get the toilet paper wet. Look at annoying things. She left the kitchen messy.
Yeah.
These annoying things. Her clothes all over the floor. She don't want the laundry. She don't want to sweep. Whatever it is.
Always I leave the last mouthful.
Yeah.
And juice in the bag.
Just this little bit, in the fridge.
Yeah.
She empty the ice and refill the ice straight. Them little things. So, Simeon come live with me is always a thing. And I say, when we get to that point,
it's family.
Right. But families, in most of these cases.
Worse, you know, because you and I used to live in the same house.
Yeah.
We grew up understanding, so you see that clothes pan floor, the juice, the empty ice tray and a refill, pot and plate overnight. You know me not do that something then. Yeah. So now that you're in my space, especially let's say you're rural, move to Kingston. So now by nature, Orville is coming to Kingston, who I'm going to stay with at least for now. Good. And now him bring that dirty style, you know, coming to the house. What does it mean now that I can't really call my mother or grandmother back home and say, look here now, him have to come out. Because remember.
So you gotta tolerate it?
No, really. Now me start coming at hours when me feel sick.
I'm going to embed enough to deal with it.
Or something. Till him start reach home after me because him start party, I mean, I do party live. So when music come in, I do overtime everything, 11 at night. At 2:30 in the morning.
Him a forward in.
Yeah.
And you have to get up at home, you don't let him in. Come on, like you never have no key for him anyways.
No, you give him a key, mad.
Yeah, give him a
key. But
but you give him a key.
In the beginning, him never get the key because I want to not get up at 2 in the morning.
Yeah, but you know that even legally, when you give him a key, you're making a statement, you know.
Is that tenant, you know?
Yeah, man. Yeah. So somebody might give a key. So I'm going to get accused for that key.
So what that means, ultimately, that can create a division. I'll tell you, as simple as it is, it's bad mind, my bad mind. Remember,
you don't want to see him progress.
No, I never got his university there, do masters and all. I never went that route.
You have to fight your way out.
No, it's me help send him to school.
Yeah.
With a supermarket, a pack shelf. But now, the reason I'm opposed to him in my space, the way him is bad man, my bad man. Because when him go back a country, you know, he's now called.
Yeah.
See him, yeah?
The one who made it.
No, see him, yeah?
But
how you do? Me name, how you do?
Yeah.
Him name, see him, yeah?
Alright, now hold on. Flip it the next way though. That kind of dynamic, so where you are the brother, right, who used to help this youth. Right? In their university, you their country, you turn up I'm a style you, knowing fully well that you help to raise him, you guide him, you pay a good portion of tuition and all of that too. See, you want the minister of mining while him there at school, right, big no and thing, and you turn up, and most of all, because he has different friends, and you know, you still talk like you have goat in your family. Wow, man, Mr. Billica brother. And of course, now he's not talking with a kind of Jamaican accent. You know, that one there. And where mouth slips sometimes, I say, I fell off the donkey. Man. Those are the ones who used to went it, you know, that kind of thing. So how you manage the dynamic then?
But that dynamic is almost the same, you know, because it's almost.
But you owe this one though. You get me?
Yeah, but you know the funny thing is, him don't walk with the debt. You're supposed to owe him a debt of gratitude, but he never show up there believing that you owe him. You understand?
So why I'm thinking him can turn up then?
It's just that thing that you said, at least me know said, me deal with him decent, so him shouldn't really style me.
So there's an expectation now.
No, and that's the word.
And that's about this. How do you manage the expectation?
And that is the word. Why is there an expectation whether I have treated you well or you have treated me well tomorrow? Why is there an expectation?
Exactly.
All right, here's how I feel though when it comes to family on the whole. Right? I believe that family really is supposed to be this nexus of cooperation, and the way in which you move forward is that you pool your resources at a certain period of time so that so you can move through, and it's like a partner draw. Right?
Yeah, and so your time.
Yeah, man, my time, and thing, whatever. And so you kind of pay it forward and you pay it back, etc. So I honestly feel that my siblings who are older than me, I owe them something. I don't owe them my life, but I owe them something. So they must start having children, I'm start look out for the children, them and start pick up the youth, them and things or whatever. See it? Now, it's not a case where I'm like waiting for my draw coming back, but we know so when it's my time. But there are boundaries, absolutely. Not because you at some point in my life did I help me out. It means that I have a mortgage to you.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, you named upon my birth certificate. Certificate. Like a tiger.
Man, a true Jamaican, man, a certificate.
Yeah. So with a tiger. Right?
Yeah.
And so therefore, like you have a lien on it. And so, all right, you don't discharge a lien and thing. And so therefore, you're going to have to continue to pay me with, by tolerating me for the rest of your life. And
the children. The obligation with offspring, comes with siblings.
Yeah, man. And that,
you don't just owe your sister
and
now.
So that's a no.
You owe your
At that point, you have to draw the line.
And
we're not saying you must mean it out, because I believe at all times, right? At all times, you have your brother or your sister. As long as it's not somebody, one of your sister or your brother who want to try to kill you, they might try to kill you, it's another story, right? But if it's like you have a brother or a sister who is on his or her face, you should always have a little space to help them out.
Mm.
See it?
There's a limit to help and a limit to space and a limit to responsibility.
And you have to be careful what you do with your ribs. Yeah?
You understand?
Yeah.
You are my brother,
and
I owe you the same as I owe a stranger. A duty of care if I am able to while you are in need.
Yeah.
But if you believe for some reason that our history of abuse or difference and challenges and even security issues, I must always in my ear remember, when you are my brother. No. You are my child. My obligation to you, especially once you get to 18 or what we call adult, because it can be 20, it can be 18. I have done for you what my moral obligation has said I should do.
Okay.
Anything after that is conditional for me, where we mutually agree to get.
So you went along the road that I am now.
That's family.
See this road? This is the road that I want to explore a little bit deeper. Children.
Yeah.
To what degree do we owe anything at all to our children? Where can we draw the line to say, you know what? In order to not sacrifice myself 100%, I need to draw the line here. Or wherever you're comfortable drawing the line. Because some people will say they will sacrifice themselves 100% for their children. And I can respect that. If that's how you feel, I can respect it. But where do we draw the line with our children where we can say, you know what, enough is enough and I won't accept anything else from you?
What is the child though? When you, in the context of children, for this discussion, are we talking about children? I don't want to get into trying to draw a line.
Children family.
I don't want to get into trying to draw a line with a 5-year-old. So what I'm saying is we're talking about children who are of age.
Good. But my children are of age. And I'm assuming yours
good.
Are
so
as well.
I will say it. I say it without reservation.
No, man, I like a piece of boy.
Him safe.
Yeah, it will look like me cheap on the DNA test.
No, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I owe you an obligation to do right when possible.
Mm-hmm.
You seek my counsel, I give it to you. You need money, I don't owe it to you.
Right.
You are...
And you're talking about when you're an adult now, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
If by chance you should happen, what I will do is in the threat of your life, I will go to prison for you and gladly tell the judge.
Yeah.
And that really applies in a specific kind of circumstance.
Yeah.
Where the child, I'm assuming the child probably wasn't responsible.
So, but to sit with me and tell me that my duty
So mine,
to
adult
create
child.
a foundation for you does not make me the foundation for the rest of your life.
Oh,
Absolutely.
okay. Yeah, I think that
And
that's a reasonable.
I sleep well knowing that if my children like me or they don't like me, I don't lose sleep. I used to lose sleep over the fact that maybe, just maybe, I'm not doing right.
Mm-hmm.
I got to a point where I said, well, here we are. I am content.
I've done enough.
Mm-hmm.
I've done what all that was humanly possible of me. Because the truth is,
I've done as reasonably as I assess myself. Because I know that anybody else's perspective, which includes theirs, could make me
less than.
fall short.
Absolutely.
So I have resolved within myself, good. So I then say, you know what, as of now, we have an agreement. I'm not responsible for you. And you know what? You are not responsible for me.
There you go.
But here's, flip now. So guess what?
So,
Hold on. So,
able-bodied children.
and now, watch this now. Some years ago, I was invited to speak at a forum at Norman and the Law School, the new Maintenance Act.
Mm-hmm.
The Maintenance Act says that I must take care of my children, and if I'd been maintaining my child all the way, there are circumstances under which I can maintain him or her until
Beyond 18.
beyond 18. If
to 23.
I think 20, up to 23.
23. That's right.
But I must already have been doing it.
Yes.
So they can pop up now and say, hey, oh, no. Like if you already should have all been in the institution.
Yeah.
So if you didn't go to university and then all of a sudden you decide at age 21 you're going to start or something like that. No, it not go well.
Yeah. It has to be in perpetuity and continuity.
However, there's a flip because an adult child has a legal responsibility
For
to take
parents.
care of the parent.
It's been that way.
Yeah, but no, it's just enshrined in legislation. It's not like,
Yes.
so meaning say, listen,
If your parent is incapable.
because at that point, right?
For different reasons.
Yeah, man, you retire, you don't have no income,
or
whatever.
physical challenge
Right.
and disability.
So
fine.
I can sue my adult son or adult daughter for maintenance.
Yes.
Right. Good. But it's so. However, my adult son or daughter can't sue me because me don't mind you already. Right.
Yeah.
All right.
You know, you can add to that your wife's child,
That's okay.
who is not your child. Remember,
You mean that you know it's not your?
No, you met,
okay.
you
Remember,
met
this
her,
is Easter. We're talking about both. Right?
Yeah, you met her with this child and the child was 6.
Right.
And you've been married to her for...
Yeah.
Even though this child is not your child,
Yeah.
Biologically.
the law understands that this child is.
Yeah.
So,
Your wife's child.
yes.
Yeah.
So when the time comes, because the wife's child is automatically now yours. So any care that this child have at 18 going on, try knowing if it's put upon you, you can't say, hey,
Yeah.
automatic, because you've been taking care of this child all along.
Yeah. But it works the other way around
This
too.
is your child.
Yeah,
But
it works
then
the
you
other
can
way
also
around too.
sue
So
that child.
but that stepchild or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know, let me tell you something else. Like sometimes people overrate this biology thing. Yeah.
But your child, is not your wife's child. It's not the same thing.
We understand this, as we talk about the relative and the family and things same way.
Oh, it's not worried.
Sometimes overemphasize the biology because
Definitely.
you may very well have somebody who's a family member, right? But you're not related by blood. Well, not directly. It's not your biological son or biological daughter.
But they are
biological cousin,
family.
but a real more family than the other person who whatever. And that person who is not in your physical bloodline is a real relative. Much more real. And so that one is
This is why we must underestimate family.
Yes.
We can overestimate blood.
Yeah.
And that's
But
why.
don't underestimate family.
Right.
And that's why early on.
And that's why I like the word family.
We are mafia,
Yeah, we are
we
family.
don't have to related
No,
by blood.
yeah.
But we related
Yeah.
like this.
And many times, those non-biological relations are much tighter, much realer.
Absolutely, and that's why I wanted us to discuss it and dissect it the way we do, because personally, I can say that I'm closer with people who aren't biologically directly biological. We don't share DNA. You know what I mean? But, we should share the same DNA as the chimpanzees, but you get what I'm saying? We don't share DNA, but at the same time, we have a closer bond than those who actually don't share DNA.
What is wrong with that?
Nothing's wrong with that, it's just a matter of emphasizing it.
No, think about it for a second. Is it we who have decided to superimpose blood relation over everything else?
Well.
Or is it that we've always been known in this village as family and somebody decided, let us separate? We by blood are more important family than we by community or we by communal existence.
It all depends on what kind of society you move from where to where, if it's telling the truth.
Because
I think for this particular discussion,
who you grow with your family, not that themselves.
right? But I think for this particular, and that is exactly it. But for this specific discussion, I wanted to highlight the fact that the people who tend to push the boundaries the most are the ones who believe that they're entitled to something because you share a bloodline.
True that.
Why I think dead left is responsible
absolutely
for more than half murder.
So I want to rewind the point again because see, there's an important point in now because we kind of gloss over it. Yeah, because sometimes this person, you never share blood, you know. Right? You just know, say you never have the same grandfather, the same father, but you never two grow. Right? All of a sudden they say, yeah man, I'm a family, I'm a brother, you know, yeah man, I'm a brother, whatever. But you don't have a brother do that. You're abundant to me. Long time. Where did that? Right? So you know I come claim me and think, yo, when we in the trenches, when me I suffer, when me I go through whatever. This is who me know as my brother. This is who me know as my uncle. This is who me know as my father. Whatever. So you know. Exactly. So you turn up. You turn up now. What's about now? You're saying, boy, you know, sir. Me have family, you know, me have the same grandfather, me have blood brother, you know. Boy, you know, say, you know, I turn up at the yard, you expect the person to make all kinds of sacrifice. First of all, you might even be part, you as a biological relative, might have been one of those persons who caused detriment to me in my life.
Absolutely.
No, so me have to avoid you like the plague.
You are probably one of the hurdles.
But you know what is the why is the
family still enough?
What is the usual motivation for every example you just give? Money.
Sometimes, that's
think about the
status. I mean, it ties back to money, but
out of 10, people who have done you this service are extreme wrong as your biological connections. When they start to show, if it's not the actual money, it's help.
Some material,
but them come for a benefit.
But
that's
the
in the
benefit can
case.
also be status too,
Exactly, as I want to say.
They don't come for connection.
They're like the
they
women
come for benefit.
They're like the women who believe that success is sexually transmitted. Just because them sleep,
I like that one.
just because them sleep with a man who's successful, them feel say them successful.
But Chris care.
Enough for them.
Him not get the car.
Him pick you up in the car, but not your car, miss. Respectfully go buy your one, go look at work. So, and it's the same thing with some family members. Them feel say because them stand next to you and say, oh, I'm a cousin, you can sing too. No.
Exactly.
That does not make you a singer, that does not make you talented, that does not make you qualified to stand in the same arena as this person.
Might entitle them to be able to go through the same show gate. And be in the same show via.
And that, my friend, is not an entitlement, it's an allowance. Because that is up to me now, as the person who has earned this position to say, you know what, I will take you with me. And that is where I'm saying to you. So we can tie back to a financial benefit.
There are times, but it's material and status. But there are times when it happens behind your back. So, like, maybe there's somewhere.
That's the betrayal element. No.
Maybe there's somewhere, you know, in the VIP section or something like that. And somebody with some whoop title comes and say, you know, I actually met your close blood relative, you know, and blah, blah, blah. I'm just saying, but my name chat to the person.
Then the person I think agree.
I tell you how much years my name talk to the person. Well, I know.
The surprise.
So, no, I mean, real story. And it's like, when you hear, you know, I mean, I talk
the tales.
Celebrity and thing and whatever, right? But there's somewhere and people that say, oh, you know, Doc, I actually met such man and whatever. And you just swear.
So
that somebody me and him say so. This is somebody who me can't tell the last time me and them talk. Or the last time them even try to do something for uplift me or whatever. You had nothing to do with me over the last 20 years.
Wilted by association.
And you jump on it and see. And matter of fact, you don't just jump on the bandwagon, you create your own wagon. But guess what? It actually works in some circumstances. Oh, you're such man. Your Orville Taylor's brother, or cousin, or nephew, or sister, cousin, more like a cousin. Yeah. But it's somebody that calls, I've been to places like I go over the super center, and female come up to me. Why go on my cousin?
Jaja.
And I say, cousin.
What your father again?
And again. Yeah, that me I say no. Yeah. It's not like we're going to
it's
not like we're going to Valley now. And everybody here went, wow, our father, wow, our uncle. So that's different,
Yeah.
But it's like somebody's like, you're really,
Because
really,
cousin.
really, yeah, man.
Cousin specific.
Or I turn up at some school
Yeah.
and some, listen, I've been, like, I turn up at some rural area, some rural funeral. I know somebody have a real scattershot. Cousin still, tell you the truth, still. I must about 20 people here. Yeah. And some people are pop up. I say, boy, Mr. Taylor, yeah, man. You know, some your cousin. Yeah. And I'm like, okay. Or when we turn up in the community and people say, yo, so your cousin, blah, blah, blah. I said, really? But I mean, that's kind of okay. That's kind of okay. Except though, when them start to violence their reputation. Or when them feel now them turn up. Oh, by the way, it's like, we have a community named Taylorland.
Taylorland.
Yeah, Taylorland. Like, I can't tell you.
Which part is?
Taylorland is just outside Bull Bay, I think, 11 miles or something like that. Yes, it is actually Obadiah Taylor. My grandfather, brother, found the place. So anybody out there, say, man, them family. But you have some talk about some people who have never met and whatever. So you can't tell me that because me and you might have share some kind of blood. That means that this person who me know are my son or who are my daughter or my nephew, who me not actually share blood with, you come jump in because, man, ease yourself.
So one of them cousins from Taylorland link here say, hey, come sign guarantor.
Me don't know you. I mean, no disrespect to you, thanks to the fact that we share
the same blood, you mean? You can't...
I blood on paper.
But me not going to betray you, can wear blood.
How far apart is blood?
Hold on a second.
I mean,
hello.
But that's the same blood run through your vein.
No, don't worry.
You name Taylor, me name Taylor.
That's a question.
We come from Taylorland.
Him just being argumentative.
Me live at Kingston, you live at St. Mary. You have a neighbor?
No.
Yeah?
No?
No.
Okay. Exactly.
Okay.
So you see the family will stay some?
Vote.
You can't forward.
Yeah.
So for you, family confined by geography.
No.
That define your family.
No. Family confined by the fences.
Defined by
around or we live. If you want to live like foreigner or you want to live like stranger, then the bloodline argument must also follow suit. You're dealing like a stranger or bloodlines are strange.
Yeah, man. Let me tell you something. There are some.
You live distant with bloodline distant.
The test for me is that you have some individuals who you consider to be family. I like the word family, right? That incorporates it. For me, it's a nice like a concept, family. So like where if you feel a stabbing in your back and you turn on, and you see the person with a knife, with blood on it, you're actually looking to see who the person took the knife from. Even though that person is not your blood relative. Listen.
There's no other person.
There are a small group of people, right? A very small group of people who are not related to me by blood at all. Who, me tell you, me trust them like goods in a ghetto shop.
That is it.
Trust them. Good. And there are some individuals who I share the same DNA with. I would never, ever want to be in the same room alone with. And I don't mean a tiny room.
Cosign.
I mean like a hall room or a church hall.
You see that one there? Cosign.
Okay.
100%.
Yes. And
there's some people where we don't share nothing.
My family will change over time because the circumstance change over time.
No, them never change. I saw them stay a long time.
Them just...
they were just listen, they were always a butterfly. You just thought they were caterpillar.
No. We didn't know what go on.
No,
but family also has dynamics because there's always somebody who says to you, you have to understand. You see once the conversation starts with
Rodney.
You have to understand.
A person is a half soul. Listen,
No,
a person is a half soul.
Half soul.
Right? It's the other half that comes out later on.
Yeah.
Rodney Campbell, you're the same person when you're in a third farm. Remember you. You're not switch.
Yeah.
Exactly. You come like an old 25 cents coin. You can't change. That's you, right? You may become a little bit more empowered to do some more things, whatever.
And you might
Money
learn some
money
new
don't
things.
change people. Status
Yeah, bro.
don't change people. It only reveals who you are.
There you
Argument
go.
done.
They couldn't afford to be them
Exactly.
true selves before.
Yeah.
I stand firm on that.
Yeah.
110%.
And
I
when you
know
look
people
for
where, I know people where when them poor,
yes.
you see one side of them.
Yes.
But the second them not so poor, them not rich yet.
Yes.
But me if I tell you, say them win 20, I mean them win 200,000 Jamaican dollar and them win 20,000 Jamaican
Yeah,
dollar
man.
and them deal with the different
And when you
thing.
look at them shirt back, and we look at them neck, sir, it's an aftermarket sign made in.
Yeah man, made in
Not in
one part.
Jamaica, exactly.
Made in Taiwan.
Yeah, see there. All right.
Everything manufactured have an expiry date.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I don't know my experience. I
No,
experienced
me I
it
say to
still. But what
you,
I say,
everything
Yeah.
manufactured.
Yeah.
So, if what I'm giving you is a persona or a
Okay.
personality that did have manufactured, it have an expiry date.
it must fade.
Your false friend can't stay false forever.
You got to know that different road.
So,
Because
no.
Different,
So your false family can't stay false forever.
Yeah.
for me, them go so, you know, them parallel, you know.
yeah. Long and short of it.
I two
sure.
parallel roads, you know.
Yeah.
You
Long
can
and-
learn to have a friendship. You learn to have a family.
Yeah,
and
this- and the
vice
same lesson.
versa.
Yeah.
It's like a bit of same
But
lesson.
Yeah.
what you must do sometimes, instead of thinking about boundaries, sometimes you must allow family to show you
What them really make out of.
how it works.
Yeah. And then
Rodney.
you, and then
Because
you
it's the only way you know who is blood and who is.
Rodney,
Yeah.
having said that, I can tell you that one of my favorite games to play, and I do it effortlessly, is Fool.
with the emphasis on the F.
Well, you know,
I love playing Fool, you know.
the only problem is, I do everything he knows when him playing the fool.
I when me not playing.
Yeah.
No worry, I always know.
Okay.
Sorry.
No worry, I always know.
Yeah.
What is one of the key elements with disarm people? I think I find it,
But you don't have to play the fool, Koffy.
yeah, but my favorite
Yeah,
way for
man.
disarm people, because it's when people feel like there's no benefit to them.
Yeah.
That is when you see absolutely
Yeah,
what
man.
they're made of.
Yeah, man.
That is when them show them true colors.
Always call your family, even once a year.
Yeah.
Always call a set of family. Not the same set, but a set of family. And make them know, say, you're destitute.
It's ironic that this happened today.
But I don't make them know you're destitute. When I say destitute,
Yeah,
I
man.
mean, bro, alright, I know you can only afford
Me need you for buy me a tin of
Bro.
mackerel.
Yeah.
and appreciate what happened after.
Yeah.
Appreciate what it means.
That's a good test.
Yeah.
It's a good
Remember,
test.
say, people show up at your wedding easier than them show up at your funeral.
What's the benefit?
I thought you were going to say what's different.
Well, it's too late.
No, you are right. You don't pay your own.
It's too late. It's too late.
I won't participate in that.
No, neither.
Oh, you never
No,
You can't
you mean.
You can't be.
We just
Yeah, but
You always have money
We
supporting
That's
that.
our
mastered
Yeah.
you into a baiting situation.
That's our wedding.
Happy Palm Sunday.
Funny bomb son.
I handle that one well.
You think so?
You did it to yourself.
Sunday, I handle myself.
You
well,
did
so,
it.
hey.
You did it to yourself.
As long as you got the desired result, I have nothing to say.
But it's the truth because
Yeah.
I mean there's a whole African story, you know. And all that man needed to do. His son said to him, "Boy, you plan the wedding. You
Yeah.
know everybody
Yeah.
will know." And when him show up, him see 2,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
And him say, but imagine you, the closest thing to me, I mean he said you invite family and friends.
Mm-hmm.
And is it this? Him said, well I invited everybody. But I told them that you're on your deathbed and needed them to bring any money them could. And
Yeah.
these are the only people who
Because you see the people who really they are caught.
So, what you don't want is numbers.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people, but I have few friends.
Mhm.
And every time I say that, in a certain gathering, there are lots of people who feel
Yeah.
offended.
Tell us.
Because I never necessarily address them as part of the
But them are pre themselves.
friends.
Hey,
I'm not responsible for how you think I feel about you.
Rodney.
Then if you really will know.
Yeah. So I'm telling you something. Last 4 years ago, we had a kind of cleansing that took place in this country, in the world.
The world.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I walked through COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And COVID stopped me up for weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I had fever for 14 days. 14 days. I had 9 terrible nights. I had post-COVID pneumonia for at least 6 weeks. Yeah, man, I was real sick.
It was a long thing with Orville.
Yeah, man.
World.
So, but guess what? The good thing about COVID? I knew who the real people were. And there are some relatives who I understood that weren't as close. And there were some distant relatives. Like some grandmother and them great-grandfather of some family. And them shoot out like a handcart.
Yeah, man.
Them afraid them now coming up because, the cool thing about boundaries is that nobody can jump my gate. I might get this. Okay, I may have a monitor and I don't have any buzzer on my gate, right? So I have the luxury of turning on the monitor. Oh, I'm not there.
You can stay.
And also, right? No, I mean, we can make a determination as to whether or not we let you in. But, right. But during COVID, I knew who my real friends were. And it was an assessment also of the kind of impact because I was getting like emails from all over. I get from some, see. I mean, it helped me to understand who my readership and my listenership, etc. But beyond that, you realize that, them colleagues are care.
Them people are really have the best interest at all.
Them, yeah. Them people that matter. Other one, who meeting there are some people who are expected to turn up.
You know, see them one time.
Them turn like mango.
Yeah.
They don't turn up.
Them turn like corn bean.
Yeah, I tell you. Yeah. With the chicken back in it.
Sorry?
With the chicken back in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, and I believe it's one of my epiphanies. So I came away from COVID different because I think I got a different life,
Again.
Yeah, man. You see, it's another story I'll tell another time.
But it's funny though,
But I came away from, long and short of it, I came away from COVID, with much less tolerance for the foolishness. I'm like, you're fake, bye.
Bonus.
Bye.
Yeah.
No, I know you're not real.
And this is a man who never have much tolerance.
Long time for the
to begin with.
Yeah.
You know what's funny?
To begin with.
You're not telling me.
But for him to say,
yeah.
And I think it's only natural for us sometimes to have expectations. You see when certain things happen in my life, and like a brethren sit down and say, some people you never expect, that to deal with. I say, who did I expect?
Oh, by the way,
people say disconnected sometimes.
But no, Rodney, my brother, let me tell you something. There's I have never, I'm outing I have never, I've never at any time met you or seen you, and it's even before I just became media and public, whatever. I've never, when you're the players and everything, I've never seen you and you behave like you are Mr. You. I'm just saying to you, remember, we go where the place name, where the Jamrock, Bucky and Jamrock, right? And then the early 90s, right? Bucky and Jamrock. And you walk come cry, you heal me up like say, me I used to play marble, even though I was a prefect at school.
Yeah.
And I tell you though, and I've always appreciated that. So like on this podcast, I'm just saying to you that we know some me real in a seat in the case.
Rodney are real, 100%.
Yeah.
I don't just know.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, actually.
I don't just know. Really recognize it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't give him that.
Yeah. Big up man who used to carry me to school.
He cross ya.
Alright.
It's the only one cross ya.
No.
You could have crossed by
Man,
yourself.
no,
You're not
Don't
in
cross
school.
by myself.
Yeah, this is school. I'm Monday used to cross ya.
Yeah.
Move on there.
Yeah, just cross too, but he never hold me on.
Alright.
But I want to understand that people have seen some things in a me more while that them said. Though I will guide people or try to guide people to not think, I think myself, maybe it's age and time and experience. I don't know, but this idea of sitting down saying, I'm disappointed Because out of all the people, we never expect that from. I've been there enough times to understand there is no such thing as a person who will not disappoint. I mean, it's a tragic way to look because it hurts the feelings of those who say include me in that. It's not about including you. I'm just telling you that in my headspace,
you're not excluded.
I just don't say what happened. The only thing I can not be disappointed about is the thing I know nothing about.
Yeah.
I can't be disappointed if I discover that the next side of the moon look different because I've never seen it.
Yeah.
So,
you understand?
So let me say this.
Tell me that.
Let me say this. If it had to disappoint me because I expect people to be people across the board. For me, everything's circumstantial. So if Rodney do something out of character, I will look for the reason behind it. And you see, if there are certain conditions that are met, I can say, yeah, that's Rodney. I expect that. You understand what I'm saying? Likewise, if you act out a character, I can say, was there X happening, Y happening, Z happening? Then of course, this person might act out a character. You understand what I mean? People are going to be people. Nobody's infallible. Another time we're going to explain that word to the people more on the side. Nobody's infallible. So I expect people to be people and I expect you to make mistakes. I expect you to fuck up, for lack of a better term. When it happens though, I also expect you to stand up and take accountability because I think accountability, respect, miscommunication are some of the key elements that fuel failed relationships.
Yeah, one of the worst things you can do to me is be wrong and strong.
Yeah, absolutely.
Me apologize so fast, like when I realize that I'm wrong.
Absolutely.
Me apologize quick, because I don't like being wrong. But there are some people, sometimes I'm apologizing so quickly that the person is still talking. I'm like, I did say I'm sorry.
I get it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm going to try to make amends. Now, what I can't take is when you're wrong and then you either try to say, yeah, but you didn't do that too. No, but you're wrong. Let's work with the apology first. No? I am wrong. Oh, you're wrong, you're strong. Or when you try to reconfigure the evidence.
Your balance wrong, you know. So the only reason you accept say you wrong is to point out to me or
listen,
wrong.
I'm a powerful man in a war, right? A 5-year war. Simply because I'm wrong and I'm lying. I'm like, I'm not backing down at all. You're wrong.
Yeah.
I say, you're wrong, I lie to. I'm going to tell the public, you're wrong, you're lying.
You see that?
Don't.
Accountability, bro.
Yeah, man.
You see if you... And the worst thing you can do is try to apologize as a strategy to disarm me. Yeah. Because now you're going to say, you try to pacify me with a fake apology. But if you apologize and the behavior don't change, then you can keep your apology, my bro. Like, I'm not going to pay attention to the behavior. Because you can apologize and then do the same thing over and over again. Then don't be mad when I decide that I will ignore your apology and treat it like shit.
And in any event, though, because an apology must come with an intention not to repeat the same thing.
Absolutely, because now you understand. Exactly. So when you apologize and you do it again, all you show me is that you never really care to begin with.
Or this is how you are.
Right. This is your nature. And that in itself, now you're gone into the conversation. As a sociologist, this is your nature.
Yeah, man.
And if I identify that this is your nature, it says to me that you cannot escape this type of behavior. There's no way you cannot do this thing. I will then choose to say, you know what, I will love her from a distance because your nature is not aligned with the things that I want to align
love
myself
you from which distance?
I'm not going to love you from a distance.
No, I will love you from no distance because guess what? I've now discovered who you are and I love that image of what I thought you were. Now I understand who you are. I am done.
Yeah, I can't love you from a distance.
I'm done. Because who I thought I was in love with, or who I thought I loved, or who I thought was my friend, you're not my friend.
It's a facade. It's not real.
I can love somebody who is distant in space and time, but I cannot love somebody from a distance because if I didn't need to create that distance between me and you, then my love can't go that far.
Yeah.
If once me still have love for you, it no matter if you're gone to Africa.
Yeah.
Is love.
Yeah.
If I stay out of your way at all costs, the love gone.
Right.
So you see that?
Yeah.
Because I don't do a thing when love for me is not shelf material. You don't go into a place and find it for me. Me either have it or me don't.
And that is where we are going to agree to disagree.
So
because
family who I unlove, I don't re-love.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
So that is where we're going to agree to disagree because how I view it is, if I loved you 2 weeks ago, I'll continue to love the version of you that existed 2 weeks ago.
Memory.
It's not a memory. It's not a memory because how I view it, people change every day. So the version of you that existed back then, if I genuinely love that version of you, I will still love that version of you to this day. If you come back around to that version, we're cool. But if you maintain whatever variation of you you're going on to, if you maintain that I'm gonna like it, then I can choose say, you go that way, then me go that way.
Except though, the point I'm making is that if you continue to maintain that thing that caused
you are inclined to believe that that's their nature.
That's who the person is.
Absolutely.
And then the mask falls off my face, the glasses fall off my eyes, and I'm seeing clearly what it is that you are. Then I realize that who I thought I loved. I remember guy was dumped. Right? There's a girlfriend who dumped me. Yeah, man. Yeah, one dumped me. Not like. And I hurt, like really, really, really hurt. Right? Hurt like me have a toothache in my heart, right? And then she did something and she said some things. And some other things fell into place. And then I woke up one morning and I was crying. And I cried and I washed out the pain. And I said to myself, and I looked at myself in the mirror. And, of course, came to the conclusion that there had to be a gun and all of that. Because it couldn't be a mistake and all that. But I looked at myself in the mirror and thought about it. And I said, but that girl who I thought I was so in love with for these many, many years. No, she doesn't exist. I am Neo. I took the blue pill.
No, he's in the matrix.
I'm Neo. I took the blue pill. I'm out of the matrix.
So, I think this is where...
And this is it. So you take that figurative blue pill and come out of the matrix.
And this is where I want to encourage our viewers.
Yes.
This is where I want to encourage our viewers to chime in, drop something in the comments. Let us know how you view it. I mean, we have three different views. You have your view, we have OT view, you have mine. We have three different views. I want to people if the public have a different
the matrix
view.
I know about it.
I want if the public have a different view, I can agree with any of us. I think it would be active engagement.
Yeah, man.
That's the word.
Yeah.
It will be engaging. We are at the end of another episode, people. Thank you so much for joining us. Great, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's Easter.
Alright. We'll kill it.
Alright.
Any parting words, anything exciting going that you're a part of coming up?
No, I'm about to finish another drawing or painting. I'm back in my artistic mode. And I'm painting and drawing.
Can we look forward to seeing this one in the National Gallery anytime?
Not again in the National Gallery. No, the National Gallery is probably not having any more of those shows, but sometime, maybe next year, I intend to have an exhibition called Images in Black.
Looking forward to that. Images in Black.
Yeah.
As if there's any other...
By the way, as a teacher,
No.
one
is only...
Mr. Walker.
Mr. Walker alone.
But no, he used to give me the class to teach.
Once in a while.
Yeah, that's all right. Yes, Rodney Campbell.
I've seen him on you.
Hey, this is not just
no, long time.
You know, never get for mention.
Yes.
You know, never get for mention.
Go ahead.
Ideas, evolution.
So for to the wall.
We are in the lovely studios of Ideas Evolution.
Yes.
And every week we also get their QR code plastered on the screen.
Yes.
So that people who are interested can scan the QR code, book it, get themselves a session. We know some sessions came in here because I see evidence on the floor.
And interestingly, maybe, just maybe, we can get Orville
to put some art.
Put a piece of art or donate.
Yes, sir.
A piece of art. As we'll hang it
Don't
like a gallery. We turn it into a gallery piece.
But I said nothing is for free. Don't eat. Nothing is for free.
No,
I mean,
put it on the wall.
I'll allow you to show it.
Or,
Yes.
if you like for us to advertise.
We'll do the gallery.
If you'd like for us to advertise, definitely
It's
reach out
wall.
to
No,
us.
museum and dealing things start with. Wait, no, we work at gallery.
We just ask you.
Yeah.
Try work in the gallery, you know. Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, until next
It's a
week,
wonderful time.
Yeah.
we are Unscripted.
Yes.